Like most individuals today, I've been thinking about Baltimore, the riots, as well as justice for Freddie Gray. And in situations like this, I like to look back and reach into African American history and find what seminal thinkers have to say that might speak to the moment. And one such individual is Langston Hughes, and he writes a poem about African American aspirations towards the American dream in a poem called Dream Deferred. And this is how it goes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? So, what's interesting about this poem to me is first, it's written in the 1920s at the beginning of the civil rights movement for that time in that period, and he's talking about the American dream and whether or not what's going on with the dream. It's delayed, ultimately not denied, hopefully, but it's delayed. And the question is, what happens if it never comes, or what happens if it takes too long? What happens if it just never happens? And I mean, does it end up? What does it do to you? And so, in each of these situations, it's talking about a neglect and a rotting and a spoiling and what that does to material conditions. And when I think about the material conditions of inner city neighborhoods, educational systems, police and community relations, not only in Baltimore but Ferguson, Staten Island, and I mean I even think about Marion County here and our challenges that we face. I can go to the juvenile detention center, and I've heard young people talk about the fact that they know their teachers aren't teaching them. We have food deserts. We are struggling with heroin and drugs in our community. We essentially live in two cities, and I question whether or not. Well, I don't question. I know that dreams are being deferred in Marion County, and the reason why I wanted to speak on this is because we saw what happened in Baltimore. Um, I don't want that to happen here, and more than not wanting to have a riot here, what I don't want are the conditions that make a riot or this level of frustration in a community possible. And so I wanted to raise this issue. I think it's important. And I know that we have, municipal elections coming. I know, there's a lot of work that's being done to try to raise voter awareness and to address voter apathy. My hope is that we as a community can figure out how to come together and figure out how to stop deferring people's dreams. To me, that's critical. That is the challenge of our community.